Nintendo has popped a whole bunch of 2019 game piñatas. We know a ton of titles that are exclusive to the platform and that are coming this year. But outside of a few of them, we don't know when. We've got some generic ranges, but how will this calendar shape out? Well, today, Gabe and I are here to tell you how we think the rest of 2019 for Nintendo Switch exclusives is going to go.
Yeah, Zach, this was honestly a little surprising to me. Okay, we see that they have about 11 games, exclusive games that we know about, and we're not talking about absolutely everything. We're talking about the big stuff. So 11 of them. We know 3 release dates. Everything else is just a release window or just like a year. So it'll be interesting. We're going to try to sort these into very specific dates. So, we'll see. Zach, I think if we get 2 or 3 of these like exactly right to the day, I will be happy. We'll see how that goes though.
That would be very impressive. Luckily, we have it kind of narrowed down. We know that Nintendo likes to get down on Friday, so that helps us a lot. But let's peg in what we already know, and definitely let us know in the comments down below how you think this year is going to go, where you feel like the big titles will launch, and maybe throw in some specific predictions to come back later and see if you were right. Also, hit that like button. It does help us out a ton, and we super appreciate your support. Gabe, Yoshi's Crafted World, March 29th.
All right, so I'm going to pencil this in, and you guys are going to have to be a little patient with me while I resize this. But we do have Yoshi's Crafted World, March 29th. Zach, a mere week or so away. We are a week and a half, I guess. We're not that far off at all. Boom, Yoshi's Crafted World right there. I'm excited for that, but we've known about it for a long time. What else do we know a date for already, Zach?
The future of virtual reality hits Nintendo Labo on April 12th.
Okay, so we do Labo, we do a little resizing once again. Thank you for your patience. April 12th, we have Labo. Perfect.
I'm very worried about Labo and you because I feel like once you immerse yourself in the world of the cardboard future, you might just lose yourself. Or I might lose you.
Oh, please don't lose me. You said April 12th for Labo, right?
April 12th for Labo, and is July 26th for Fire Emblem Three Houses after it did see its delay out of spring.
Okay, July 26th for Fire Emblem. There is one more game that we absolutely know the date for, and that is August 30th with Astral Chain.
The interesting thing is, what game do we expect to come next? So then with Yoshi and Labo VR in place, the next game that has to come is Super Mario Maker 2, because we have some games that have received summer windows, Daemon X Machina, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but given that begins on June 21st, I feel like Mario Maker 2 absolutely has to be Nintendo's next big exclusive after Labo.
Okay, so it's coming in June. Do you think it's the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, or the 28th, Zach?
Okay, so Nintendo in the past has released games right around E3. We've been lucky enough to play ARMS and Mario Tennis Aces together in Los Angeles. Ooh, I feel like it's got to be either the 14th or the 21st, because I don't think they want to blow the game before giving it a substantial E3 floor presence, and I believe it will, being their tentpole Mario title, have a substantial floor presence at the LA Convention Center.
You got to give me one.
I'm going to say the 14th.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a 14th as well. So, boom, we'll pencil.
They really like to cap those E3 weeks.
Yeah, okay. So we'll play Super Mario Maker 2 on June the 14th. Okay, Zach, let me tell them what these little red circles are about, though. We have 2 circles. It indicates summer. The first circle, beginning of summer. Second circle, end of summer. And we know that there's a lot of these games coming during the summer, so I just wanted to make that a little bit more clear for you guys there.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so that's Mario Maker 2. The 2 summer games we've got are Daemon X Machina and Ultimate Alliance 3. Now, I feel like Ultimate Alliance 3, well, not necessarily. I was going to say maybe Ultimate Alliance 3 and Fire Emblem Three Houses need a decent amount of space since they are bigger titles, but perhaps not. They appeal to, I would say, completely different audiences. Daemon X Machina, to me, is the one that can kind of just be tossed out there. So I'm going to say Daemon X Machina comes early July, a couple weeks after Mario Maker. How do you feel about that?
Okay, all right. I'm feeling that. That leaves a bunch of weeks, honestly. Okay, so 5th or 12th is what you're thinking? Maybe there?
Yeah, I feel like that's decent.
Okay, so let's pick one, 5th or 12th.
12.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey Zach, we're on the same wavelength right now, man.
We absolutely always are.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm feeling like July 12th is a good day for Daemon X Machina. Okay.
That's why I'm worried about Labo VR, because it might jolt our wavelength.
I really hope it doesn't.
It might suck your mind into a different zone. Okay, so if Daemon X Machina is the 12th, and then Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 26th, to me, that covers July. It's pushing us back into August now, and as you can see, as we've known, the back end of the year, that end of Q3, Q4 is going to be loaded for Nintendo. And for better or worse, I feel like we're going to be waiting on most of their most anticipated releases. Nonetheless, Ultimate Alliance 3 does feel like an August game, maybe even a September game, honestly, but I don't know that anything will leapfrog it to come in August if Nintendo wants to sort of keep a month-by-month consistency, at least in the second half of 2019.
Okay, I feel comfortable penciling in August. Now at this point, we just got to pick a day. We have the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, or the 30th.
I feel like I'm at Bingo with Gabe.
Yeah.
Bingo at Gabe's house?
Yeah, let's do it.
That's like a really good Netflix original, Bingo at Gabe's house. Or actually, let's give it to Apple, since they're going to need a lot of new shows.
Okay. All right. Let's pick a day for Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
We've gone with the teens for everything else, so let's get a little different here.
Perfect.
Because let's also say this. I think that Nintendo has at least one thing at E3 that is coming this year that, small or big, will take some slot somewhere.
I think if it ends up being a Mario multiplayer game of some kind, like a sports game, I think that's a good September game. But all right, whatever. Let's not get into hypotheticals. Let's continue with games that we know are still coming.
Okay, so if we're going in chronological order, I'm just mentally throwing Pokemon to November, even though they haven't said November. It's going to be November.
Here, well, let me just put. Let's do Pokemon now. Let's get it out of the way. Who cares?
Okay, all right. Let's pencil it in.
All right, November what? I like 22nd.
I think that's too late.
Well, it's Black Friday, so.
Yeah, I don't think it can come out Black Friday. I think that's going to be November 8th.
All right, sure. You know what? You have convinced me. I do think November 8th makes an awful lot of sense. Alternatively, November 15th works as well, but we'll just keep it to November 8th. Why not?
I just think giving it some space, before Black Friday. I mean, let's go as the 16th. So you're right. 15th could be. Actually, let's. I'm looking at history here, Gabe. Let's revise that because
you went on the 15th.
Yeah, because we had Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon on the 17th, Sun and Moon on the 18th. So
okay, yeah, 15th.
Let's go. Yeah,
15th for Pokemon Sword and Shield makes a lot of sense to me.
Let's put that there.
Okay.
Now we have September, October, and I guess the rest of November and December to play with for some of these other titles.
We have 4 games left, dude.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
One
of them's in October.
Yeah, I feel like one of these months is also going to have 2 titles. Okay, so how do you feel about this theory? Animal Crossing, even though it has not been shown in any capacity, actually gets the earliest of the remaining dates in September.
I was honestly with that one and Luigi, I think those are September and October. I just don't know which is which.
Yeah.
Because October, Halloween, Luigi's Mansion, I don't know. I feel like they can do a marketing push there.
I feel like Town, if it is to come out this year, still also needs at least a month or so gap from Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
So that's got to be August or September.
Yeah, I was gonna say August. I think August. Yeah, August or September. All right, so let's pencil one of them in. Town. Where's that going? Where do you want that to go?
If I had it my way, I would like to put Town at Friday, September 6th, and Animal Crossing at Friday, September 20th.
Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do that because since we're so, it's uncanny how much on the same wavelength we're today. So let's just keep
King of the calendars.
Yeah. So we'll have the 6 for Town. You know that icon's
Yes.
a little big here. It'll be okay. And then what day did you say for?
9/20.
Okay. And that was for Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Luigi, Halloween, why not capitalize on that and give it an October release date?
Yeah. That's always
build towards that a little.
That's always been my thinking with Luigi's Mansion. Like it feels October-ish, right? Scary stuff. Are you scared of Luigi's Mansion?
I guess it depends how scary it is, where it's actually taking place. I mean, to let you know, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon came out in March of 2013, so
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Really care there.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter. But given the option between September and October, I'm going to lean October because it does make a little more sense.
Okay, so where in October do we want Luigi's Mansion? Let's go ahead and do this, and we're gonna talk about what we think of this calendar here in a bit. But where in October do you think Luigi's Mansion? 11th, 18th?
I like to, like, for a lot of these, I just think of Nintendo, like, it's always like a week or two later than I want, so my go-to would be like the 25th.
Okay, the 25th is God, that's very close to Halloween, but all right, sure. That would
because you have to remember that there will be multi-platform titles that, at least a few of them, that fill in some of these gaps.
Yeah, and there's going to be some notable indie games, third parties, still happening. So there's other stuff to consider. All right, we have one game left, and I don't know why. I feel this is a December game. I've always felt it since it was announced. Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
I do feel like that's like an end of the year like game.
They really like to use their December date, whereas a lot of companies will completely omit the month. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of two minds. It's either like, okay, we want Zelda to catapult Switch sales, so let's get it out early.
It's before Christmas, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't stop Smash Bros. From being like the driver in 2018,
but Smash is
even though it came out.
Different. That's a little different.
Well, and that's what I was going to say also, like, Smash being the anomaly, like, putting something a little bit more niche for Link and Zelda in December doesn't seem that crazy to me, given that this is, I would say, a little more niche for Zelda.
Yeah. Okay. So let's pick a day in December because we both.
So then
think
the first
it's
week of December. I think they get it out early if they're going to go December. Give people a couple weeks for holiday shopping. So the 6th.
Okay. All right. Boom. So that's all the games here, Zach. Now, with this said, let's talk about the year then, because barring any unannounced things that could still happen and be released this year for E3, like, this is it. Like,
right. And I do think there is something at E3.
Sure, I agree. But January had New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, right? February, there was a little bit of a lull. We have some Captain Toad DLC stuff coming. But still, Yoshi, then Labo, and then May is tricky because there's nothing in May. We have Mario Maker 2 for June 14th, and then we have July for both Daemon X Machina and Fire Emblem on the 13th and 26th respectively. That August, we have the 30th for Ultimate Alliance 3. Then on the 6th of September, we think Town. A couple weeks after that, we have the 20th for Animal Crossing. We have a Halloween Spooktacular with Luigi's Mansion 3 on the 25th. We think that Sword is coming on the 15th, a Sword and Shield. And then we have Link having December all to himself on the 6th of December on a Friday. So what do you think about that? Does that feel like a strong year to you?
Feels like a very strong Q4. Feels like a very strong post E3 year. I mean, I still, like, I'm feeling it right now of like, okay, like, Yoshi, come on, Yoshi, let's go, pop out of that egg and get on my system. And unfortunately, it's looking like the gap, at least for, major stuff, Nintendo-wise. I mean, we'll have Mortal Kombat 11 in April. You got your Assassin's Creed 3 port, but the gap between Yoshi and E3 is almost as grueling as what we're experiencing now, maybe even more so.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these big gaps. I don't know why we have to, like, back end so many of these games. Like, I think it's happening, but Town would be an awesome game, and we know it's not coming until, like, summer, but it'd be...
Well, fall, summer or fall.
Yeah. I don't know, if
it even makes it.
Is there any chance that Town just, like, ends up surprising us and releasing, like, in May or something? Because there's nothing in May at all.
I mean, I guess it goes to if you think there's going to be another Nintendo Direct.
I mean, there will be at some point.
Like, is there anything between now and E3 from Nintendo, like officially that comes out.
I don't know.
Like presentation-wise.
Yeah, but they've proven that they don't need that. They'll just throw Labo out there, like with the tweet.
But that's Labo.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, regardless, it's an awesome second half of the year, right?
I mean,
as soon as June hits, like if we're like correct with our predictions, like you have like big hitter after big hitter every month.
Nintendo did have another indies between their big March Direct and then their E3 Direct, so I could see that happening, but another like full-on Direct, maybe not. Something game-specific, like a Fire Emblem Direct, I think is plausible, and maybe they can tie some game announcement in there, but it really does feel like they're kind of just, you know, throwing everything behind the second half, and that hasn't been the case for the Switch in its first 2 years. Like, they did a really good job of having very, I feel, like, even and elegant spacing. This one has been a bit of a bummer, but I guess knowing that it's going to get so good, that makes up for it. It does feel hard right now. And if we don't fall in love with Yoshi's Crafted World, like, that is a big Mario to Mario gap from January to June.
It's half the year.
That's really, really big. So, you know, like, again, games like Doom Eternal are going to be thrown in there somewhere, which will be nice. We are going to be checking out Mortal Kombat 11 next month. So there will be things to play. It's just Nintendo-wise, I don't know. I do think there's something else. But it's just like where and what. You know, if we go back to like Emily Rogers' rumors of like, 11, 12 games and different things talking about like another Zelda.
Even the something else though, like that's not alleviating this like first half of the year. Like
no, if
there is something else, it's post E3.
Right. It still makes a very gloomy next couple months. And like as much in my head as E3 is like right around the corner, it's still 3 months away.
Yeah.
It's still 25% of the year away.
Yeah, it does feel closer, by the way. I'm scared.
I really hope that Nintendo doesn't do this again.
Do what?
Like,
again?
I would love to see them.
Like, you mean back end?
Yeah, I would love to see them just like take more of like the Sony approach and utilize like the April-May date as like a major game. And not that they haven't major game released, but not that they haven't done that before, but like they're so aggressive on the fall push. And like, how cool would it have been if like Pokemon Sword and Shield came out in that May slot, like as like the summer bonanza?
No, they like November. So
I know they do, or like Luigi's Mansion coming out, like. And I think another problem is that I do feel this year was plagued by delays, both spoken and unspoken. I feel like Daemon X Machina was supposed to come out earlier. Not that that's
I think the game was supposed to come out last year, honestly.
Fire Emblem was supposed to come out earlier, so we would be loading up for like Yoshi March 29th, and then probably Fire Emblem April whatever 12th, and
I always thought Fire Emblem was an April game, but it's clearly it had something going on, yeah.
And that's only one or two moves, but I think if you would have shifted those, if Daemon was February and they had both Labo and Fire Emblem in April, and then Mario Maker 2's in June, like that's a whole different story. It's the picture you're painting now is so much brighter. So I do feel like this year was a little bit jumbled because of internal issues.
How funny is it going to be if we get everything wrong?
You were saying 2 or 3 would be good. I feel like if we get like 1 right, that'll be good. Huh. Like if we get,
I feel decent about.
I feel
decent. Yeah.
The Pokemon Day is pretty easy.
That's why I said 2 or 3. So
yeah. Animal Crossing to me is still the biggest conundrum, because to me that could be August, September, October, November, or December.
Yeah,
I think that game could come out in any of those 5 slots. If any of these games aren't to hit, the ones without specific dates, which are you putting as your candidate for 2020?
Town. We know we know nothing. Like, I mean, they announced it, like, I guess, but and I don't know. Game Freak is busy.
Yeah. Nothing about Town. Yeah, I mean, we pegged it in on our calendar, but to me, it's like a 50-50 split if that thing even shows up again in 2019. So there could be another announcement or two, there could be a delay or two, but right now, this is how we feel the calendar will play out. Give us your thoughts in the comments down below. It is definitely backloaded, but at the same time, there definitely are a ton of tentpole titles coming, and that is incredibly exciting. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Have a fan-freaking-tastic day, and until next time, for myself and Gabe, SwitchForce out.